What up, world? It's your boy Ace Boogie.
And it's your dude, Big Paycheck.
And we in the motherfucking building. It's Radioactive Podcast in this mug.
What's the deal?
And we got some special guests in the building with us today. Gentlemen, please introduce yourselves.
Well, I'm Amza, one half of Sam Pluto.
And I am Dino, the other half of Sam Pluto.
Okay. We're gonna get into some Sam Pluto here for a second. But first, we all know it's June. And we all know what's in June.
Yes.
It's Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, Godlin, can we run that commercial? Because we got an event for y'all for Juneteenth.
Ooh, commercial. Okay, HEB, okay, African American.
SA Block Party. Here we go. Yeah. As y'all see the SA Block Party, man. Shout out to B. Michelle, man. B. Michelle. She's throwing that event. You guys got to get in there. Also, the tickets is free. You know, so all you got to do is RSVP and you in there. You know what I'm saying? It's vendors, food, entertainment.
I'm hungry now.
Shoot. It's live. I don't know if you went last year. I went last year and it was dope. It was a lot of people. So y'all make sure y'all show up to that event and have a good time, man. Celebrate our people. So,
Absolutely.
Sam Pluto.
Yeah.
What is Sam Pluto? What is that about?
Man, I tell you what, we had a studio in San Antonio. Had it for like 5 years. We were going by like another name upon like inception of us creating a business. We were going by Constituents Creative. Dope name. But nobody could ever spell or say the first word constituents. It was a tough one, you know what I'm saying? So over the years, we like, hey, you know, we had like created like this very dope experience when people walked into the studio with the lights and and it felt like you was on like you were entering either another dimension or just like a space.
I've been there. I recorded.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it felt like another place.
Exactly. So over time, we were like, hey, you know what? A couple things were in place. The name change of it being complex, and then much easier with the name of Sam Pluto. So, and then with the experience people got when they walked in. So it was like, hey, let's name it Sam Pluto. And that's how we got that. It was just like a, play on words, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to the excommunicated planet Pluto. You know what I'm saying? They don't consider it a planet.
No longer a planet.
It's
Yeah.
ice.
Are y'all still doing? Because now I know y'all doing the film work, but I remember Dino and pretty much still know Dino as far as doing the engineer. Is it just strictly the video now, like the commercials and the footage, things of that nature? Or y'all still doing the audio engineering as well?
We do still dabble in audio engineering. We are not currently working out of like a brick and mortar type,
Right.
But we still work virtually. So anyone who does need mixing and mastering, production, you know, I can still handle that stuff virtually.
Okay.
Yeah, and to kind of like explain the reason why, like February of this year, like, you know, we were cooking. Like if anybody look us up, type Sam Pluto on Google right now, we were like one of the highest rated music studios in the city. And February of this year, I think February 3rd, we both woke up to like security system going haywire, fire truck. I was like, why is a red truck in the screen? Later on, started getting calls that our studio was completely engulfed in flames. Wow. It looked like, so I had my homie shoot some drone footage after everything went down. It looked like, you know, Godzilla just stepped right on top of the building, just boom, and our studio was just impact zero. You know what I mean? So everything was destroyed completely. Like 99% of our gear was gone, but we still had the cameras. So we were like kind of in grief and grieving for like an hour, and then we just kind of snapped out of it and was like, fuck it, let's kind of start like a multimedia video production company. So we didn't miss a step, man. We just kind of like fuck.
The cameras were also inside of it.
No.
Okay.
So I had it on y'all.
We had it on us, you know what I mean?
I was about to say, dang, that was meant to be. If the cameras was in there, that was the only thing.
Yeah. But everything was completely destroyed, man. We had new gear, like, I mean, it wasn't like cheap gear. I mean, fresh, crispy gear, man. And but yeah, man, we decided to like, hey, fuck it. It put a battery in our backs, and we just kept trucking, man. And so now we just working with a lot of small businesses around the city and soon to be Texas proper. You know what I'm saying?
Now, let me ask y'all this. I know y'all was doing the audio engineering. Now I know more. When I come to the studio, it was more, I'll be dealing with Dino. But now knowing again, just finding out it's both of you guys.
Right.
But it sounds like once this tragic accident happened, then y'all had to switch gears and do something else.
Yeah.
Did y'all have any prior knowledge or education on doing videography, or did you just say, you know what, we got a camera and let's go? Because the way the videos look, it looked like y'all been doing it just as long as you've been doing audio engineering.
Yeah, right. So we picked up the camera maybe 2 years prior to the incident. We were kind of, we were heavy in it the first year. The second year, it kind of slowed down a little bit because we needed to give attention to the business at hand.
Right.
So it was something already in the works, to be honest. But again, because of the travesty, it kind of allowed us to pinpoint this and make this the pivot point of the business. Because essentially, when we first started the company, it was supposed to be a multimedia production. But obviously, our goals and what drives us is music. We saw that there was a need for a particular product. There was a lack of credibility. And we felt that if we did that with audio, then we can also do that with visuals as well. So yeah, we've been at it for quite some time.
Has it been? Are y'all gonna start doing music videos as well?
What's good, Eric?
I think so. Right now, we kind of want to take the stepping stones, working with the businesses first, and artists are businesses as well. So I think the reason why we haven't really dabbled into too much music videos is because honestly, there's enough videographers here that's kind of catering to that. If we were to step into that realm, we don't want to do the typical music video that's being shot. We kind of want to take and give our approach on it. And I think for some people, it's going to be different. It's going to be new because they're already used to what they're seeing.
Right.
And we don't mind that. It was the same thing with audio. We had to get people to understand what a specific sound should sound like. So I think once we do start diving into music video, that's going to be fun for us and everybody else. But we want to bring a different take, a fresh take.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the question everybody want to know. I mean, are y'all gonna shoot porn as well, or
Everybody. This man said everybody.
I mean, I'm
The
just
world
saying.
wants to know.
I mean, because the clarity of y'all's
wanna
videos,
know. He
the
wanna
clarity of y'all's videos is phenomenal, man.
They
I mean,
got great
anybody
quality.
and everybody needs to be contacting y'all because these are professionally shot commercials. By the way, guys, these are the guys that shot our commercial. So for those who loved our commercial, these are the guys who were behind it.
Yep.
Oh, man,
Would y'all really
appreciate
consider doing shooting porn though?
No, me no. Me no. But like if HBO,
I tell you what
Showtime-
though.
no. But like if HBO or Showtime was to approach us and be like, "Hey, we have a dope movie, not like a porn video, but like an adult movie that's going to be on HBO." You know what I'm saying? Like, or a series that has.
Pull your titties out. We'll shoot that.
You know what I'm saying? Like we would consider something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't want our shit to be just readily available on like Pornhub or some shit like that.
Right.
We want it to be on Showtime, Cinemax type shit. You feel me?
What is the goal for San Pluto as far as San Antonio, as far as Texas? What's the ultimate goal?
Wow.
Yeah.
Like how far should we go with the end game, Thanos end game?
Yes.
Yeah. What's the end game?
We have an idea. We're not really trying to reinvent the wheel per se, but we are trying to innovate creativity, right? So we kind of have an idea of how we want to curate content, all types of content, even audio as well, for the masses. I think in smaller terms, what the end game for us is to actually be the hub, right? Is to be the hub for all things content. So, one thing about content is we all need it, but I think the reason why most content is successful is because of the intent behind that content, right? We could pick up our phones and shoot content without intent, and that's kind of one of the reasons why we're not getting likes, so to speak, right? Because there's no intent. So with understanding that and then looking at the major players as well, I think we want to bring that to the city. And then we want to go outside of the city. So we don't want to necessarily say we only work with the city, but this is the home base. Right.
HQ. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Think y'all gonna do like some movies by any chance or something like that? Y'all looking for in the future to do that, or y'all is it strictly just
commercial media.
Yeah, media based, or is it like you were saying, if HBO
Yeah,
approaches you guys, y'all willing to do movies and things of that nature as well?
Yeah,
absolutely.
We do a good job with staying in our lane too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I
Like
get
we wouldn't be, if they were to approach us, like be like, hey, can y'all do this? We would like assess the situation. Like we wouldn't want to
Overpromise.
Yeah, overpromise.
Definitely
Like we
overdeliver.
never overpromise, and we always have an extra strategy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we're known for. Like we never. Basically, we may not be on the A side every time, but we on the A side. We on the A side ourselves. You feel me?
Right.
Of the deal. So, but yeah, man. In my head, I would love to, produce like short films in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Be behind the scenes, 10, 15-minute joints, emotion provoking type projects and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. So, first of all, how much and how can people contact y'all to if they're interested in these commercials or anything media?
100% go to sampluto.com. And of course, my number is 210-201-2694.
I hit you with the Mike Jones.
Yeah, for real.
He hit you with the Mike Jones real quick.
Everything Sam Pluto online, like any social media platform is Sam Pluto. It's really easy to find, especially if you're local and you search us, because again, we did have the studio and it has a nice presence online. But yeah, absolutely. And of course, when it comes to pricings, we always want to schedule a meeting because, this is videography. It might be a project where they need like fucking a ton of things that, so we always do it during our call, you know what I mean? Which is very easy. We're always available, man. Like, just hit us up on any platform, Sam Pluto, schedule a meeting. It's going to be quick, professional. And we respect our future clients' time as well.
Right. That's dope. Well, I was actually on Facebook the other day, and I came across some interesting videos, guys. And it makes for great discussion. So I really got to get y'all's opinion.
Yes.
On these videos that I'm about to play for you guys.
Coming up with
Guyland, can you play the first video for us?
Let's see what this is today.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Oh.
And I don't think that a man should be able to force a woman to have an abortion, but he should be able to walk the fuck away. Because she can walk away. Because a woman can give a baby up for adoption. And guess what happens when she give a baby up for adoption? They don't ask her for child support. I don't know why people don't bring this up and say, that's fucked up. A woman can literally leave a kid off in the wilderness and no one calls her a deadbeat mom. You've never heard a woman who gave her baby up called a deadbeat mom. As a matter of fact, they act like this bitch is some hero. I know it was difficult for you to do. It takes a real woman to do that. They actually say this. So why don't they say it to dudes who like, I ain't shit. I want to walk away. I don't even need to be in this kid's life. It takes a strong man to do that, sir. You knew you weren't shit and you recognized it. Like they won't give a man that. A man has to be a father. A woman can walk the fuck off. And I don't think that a man should be able to force a woman to have an abortion, but he should be able to walk the fuck away. Because she can walk away. Because a woman can give a baby up for adoption. And guess what happens when she give a baby up for adoption? They don't ask her for child support. I don't know why people don't bring this up and say, that's fucked up. A woman can literally leave a kid off in the wilderness and no one calls her a deadbeat mom. You've never heard a woman who gave her baby up called a deadbeat mom. As a matter of fact, they act like this bitch is some hero. I know it was difficult for you to do. It takes a real woman to do that. They actually say this. So why don't they say it to dudes who like, I ain't shit. I want to walk away. I don't even need to.
Okay. So as the man was saying, he was saying that women can give babies up for adoption and no one bats an eye. No one calls her a dead adoption.
I thought he said abortion as well.
No. He was talking about adoption, giving the baby up for adoption. She has the option to walk away from that child. Right. But as soon as a man wants to do the same thing and walk away from a child, he's a deadbeat. He's all types of names.
Right.
So, I mean, what's y'all thoughts on this? Do y'all agree with the young man and what he was saying?
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Look. me personally, man. Like,
you know, when you start stuttering at the beginning of the shit, you know you got some spot. Me personally, like
you got talks with
start wiping your neck.
You know the neck. You know what I'm saying? But I think these.
What's good, 2K? Go ahead.
I think these decisions are so complex, man. Like from on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Like these decisions are like extremely complex, and I don't like shy away from like I don't think about a lot of people's decisions regarding like their decision, like whether it be X, Y, or Z. You know, just because I think it's too complex for me to like comprehend sometimes.
Well, you know, I mean, all of us, I'm pretty sure all of us have sat there and agreed with somebody as being a deadbeat. But listening to that point with that man made, should we as men have the opportunity to walk away just like they have the opportunity?
I do understand what you're saying. It is coming from a different perspective.
'Cause I've been talking bad about a lot of men, but when I seen that, I was like, ooh.
It's a different perspective. And prior to this perspective, you know, society has kind of carved away, which is the argument he's arguing against. I think, like Ted said, it is complex because if the mother who did birth the child decide for whatever reason that she doesn't want to, or she just doesn't want to keep the child, you know, technically that child is being removed from both parents essentially. Now, is that the correct way to go about it? Like, did she make the decision without the father? Like, we don't really technically
That's another
know.
thing. She can make that decision without the father. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so yeah. I think it's a bit complex. I don't know how
extremely
much
complex.
more, because the truth of the fact is we're all going to have an opinion on it, and all of our opinions are going to differ. And then most importantly, I think we need to take into consideration, which is going to be hard, the actual parents and why one of the parents is making the decision, whether it's unfair to the other or not, you know, because our opinion is just going to continue to be opinion. And who knows if we will actually make the same decisions if we were to encounter a similar situation. You know what I mean? I can't really technically speak on why, if it's correct, if she make that decision. But what I do know based on the system, and I don't know the system very well, but based on the system, you know, if the child has been removed from the mother, right, whether she made the decision solely or not, then technically so is the father, right? So he has no ties to the child, right? Typically,
Especially if he ain't signed that birth certificate. What they saying in the comments?
I think it's yeah. I mean, when it comes to adoption, both parents have to make that decision.
Nice.
You know what I'm
They
saying?
oh, Ghetto News Network, what up? I just like the name, Ghetto News. I like
So a lot of
2K.
people in the comments are agreeing,
Star,
but again,
yeah,
when it comes to
Mogul say she
adoption,
agree. Oh, go ahead. What you about to say?
no, I just,
agreeing that what?
What Michael Clark said?
Let me go through the comments. So
ahead.
Mogul, shout out to Mogul. She said she agrees.
What
Star
up, girl?
said, I agree. Michael Clark say men can sign away their rights and still have to pay child support.
What? I didn't. What?
And then
Holy
Mogul,
shit.
she say adoption is different because both parents in most cases are giving up their rights.
That was the argument I was making. They're kind of, I don't know, technically speaking, if she can make that decision solely. Like, I don't know. I've never been.
I'm more than sure she probably can. Especially, like I said,
I mean,
especially
she
if
could just do it
Right.
without.
What makes her body her choice? Remember, at the end of the day,
without the knowledge of the father. So
I mean, it's plenty of women who.
I think that we arguing over semantics. I think the reason of what happened, like if she can do it or why she did it, or if it was Monday or whatever, it could happen. I think that the argument is that the old buddy was making.
should we be able to do it?
Well, more on why they looked at it for
Okay.
basically doing the same thing. It's like I cut you with a knife and then I shoot you with a gun. You died either way, but you're saying, oh, you're on the person that shot him with a gun as opposed to the person that sliced their neck. And it's like, well, both of them are
The same thing, same ending.
Same ending. So a little bit, I kind of understand where he's coming from, and I agree. But then again, when you're so used to living in a society to where not only black men, but most men, right, the system is geared towards the woman. So when you grow up like that, and not because I don't understand the system fully as well.
Right.
But I do get that, you know what, in most of these cases, it is geared towards the man getting the short end of the stick. But do I agree with old buddy? Yeah, I kind of agree that it should be on both ends of the stick. But
I'll just say this.
I don't know. I'm not in this situation.
Morally, for me, both for me, you know, and I was blessed to be raised by both my parents to a certain extent. For me, it's a little bit, it doesn't follow my core values.
Right.
You know what I mean? So whether she makes a decision, whether the guy makes a decision and leaves the mother, you know, for my core values, both are irresponsible no matter what society look at is because 9 months prior or whatever the time prior to that, everyone was in agreement that basically if there's no protection, whatever happens, what happens, right? But as far as what you were saying, the intricacies of the whys, I understand. But if we want to just go down to the simple point, you know, is she quote unquote a deadbeat, as if there's someone would call the dad? I would say in both cases, whatever the situation is, they're both irresponsible. You know what I mean?
Because think about this: if a man, let's say you pregnant, but let's say a woman is pregnant, and prior to now, my son's mother came right when she found out she was pregnant. Like, I'm pregnant. So later on, 9 months, we already was expecting it, right? But just imagine if the woman was, you know, oh, I'm not ready to be a mother right now. I would like to either abort the child or I would like to get a child up, right? And makes that decision. Now, imagine the man saying that as soon as he found out, listen, I'm not ready to be a father. Can you either abort it or can you give it up
for adoption?
They're like, oh yeah, that. So I totally agree. It's like just different. It's different. It's like, damn, he's saying the same thing you would have said if you didn't want the baby. He just said it earlier. Since he's not giving birth to it, I guess he's wrong. But it's like, bitch, I'm saying the same thing you would have said. You would have said that, can I abort it or could I? I think that it looks different coming from testosterone, maybe.
That's what I said at the beginning. My response was like, complex. It's so complex,
right?
Man.
Exactly.
It's like a societal thing where like we put these names, deadbeat, and all this stuff like that. But in my head, regardless, I still think there's such complex decisions. It's not like
you can't just it's this reason. Where's that? It's just like
we just went through all of the motions right now, and like it's a lot. So
it's complex.
It's just alchemy.
I hope for the best in all these situations. I never seen his content before. It looked like his content is probably more on the salacious side, because he was bitches and all this bitches, you know what I'm saying? So his shit's probably like that, geared to the shock jock style content related vibe, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Not saying that even means anything of the situation, but it looks like that's his lane. You feel me?
Let's see if we got some more
comments is popping.
Oh,
what they talking about?
Go ahead.
They writing a lot.
They writing to each other.
They okay.
Okay, yeah, they going in. Okay, y'all going in. Share the stream too. Yeah.
Yeah, share.
All right, so Elmo will say she can't.
So
and then she says again, that's only because men do not know their rights. Star says,
interesting.
Yeah, once you sign over your rights, both. Oh shit, more cameras coming in. Hold up. Once you sign over your rights, both parents. Well, in parentheses, both parents. You also have no responsibilities, including obligation to child support.
Right.
Michael Clark says that's a valid statement, but I think even more men don't try to put in the effort to educate themselves. If you really love your kids, you would get that lawyer and get those rights applied. And then Star comes, y'all are going to haul these comments. Then Star comes back and say, Michael Clark, true. I think it's deeper. You made it sound easy, though.
Hey,
academics. And then Michael say, I already shared my God. Oh, appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you, Mike.
I'm gonna just say this.
I'm
gonna just say this real quick. And the comment about education is very valid, right? Because I'm not educated on a lot of those things because I'm not in that situation, right? Like I made it a mission, you know what I'm saying? My number one mission is to make it home every day. You feel me? Yeah. To the fam, you know what I mean? So I'm not in that boat yet. Not saying yet, but just I don't foresee ever. You feel me? And that's why I'm not astute with a lot of the rights and that things of that nature because I'm not in that.
You know what I wonder? I wonder if you're married, is it still her body, her choice?
I would think so.
I don't know. You're married.
Man, you ain't about to just rape me.
No. Yes, not rape. But I'm just saying when it comes to decisions for her body. Is it still that way because she's married at this point? She's not a single woman.
She's still a person, though. You can't just because you
can't make your wife have your baby. Like, I'm saying she got pregnant. You didn't rape her, but you can't make your wife have your baby. You know what I mean?
Something like that. Oh, I thought you meant like her body. Like if I want to have sex, you gotta have sex. Like what the hell? So
are you obligated to have sex when you're married?
No. It's crazy laws on the books though, man. Like when it comes to certain things of that nature, man, I'm just like, nah, that shit
crazy.
That shit wild, man.
If you
like,
married and you get your wife pregnant and she say she don't want it, but y'all married, I wonder if that's a law. You be like, nah, you can't get an abortion. Or,
I think
there's other laws too that's even crazier. Like, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to like marriage. So it's just wild out here, man. Just
they even got what is it called, martial, or what is it when you've been together for like 7 years?
Oh yeah, common law.
Common law. Yeah.
Is it 7 years? I thought it was less in Texas.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I think it might be 3 years.
Yeah, man, my girl been married forever. Shit, right? Like, goddamn it, I've been married this whole time. What
yeah, common law is less.
Get a little deep, bro. Have y'all been looking at these shootings and shit? I actually wanted to touch on that.
Like Uvalde and all that.
Yeah, bro.
That is wild.
We're abreast to the situation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's the solution though?
So me and AC was talking.
We did.
Go ahead. I want to hear.
I'm about to tell you my solution. Okay. This is just what I think.
Okay.
Now, I know it might not seem this. Okay, this is just what I think. I don't know shit. This is what I feel. Anytime that base it on crack and cocaine. All right, we got, so just look at the laws. I'm just 1 + 1, just crack, cocaine. Cocaine, that'll be white people committing crimes. And then that's more, you can get some treatment or something like crack. That'll be, you're a criminal if you're doing crack, right? So just follow along with this. So I say that to say, usually the people doing these mass shootings are of the other race. Not saying black people aren't capable, not saying that, just saying usually. So the crimes, this is what I think. So the crimes are going to be more based on, that's called manslaughter. Manslaughter? Hell no.
That's murder.
That's murder, right? Or to be 4 counts of murder or whatever. And it's like, hell no, that's torture. So the way I look at it is the crimes should match the punishment. So when these motherfuckers need to go to this, you're a terrorist. So you should be treated like a terrorist. You shouldn't be treated like, you just committed murder. No, you didn't just commit murder. I don't like you. I go and murder you. Okay, send me to jail for murder, right? But I walk in somewhere and then commit a mass shooting. Nigga, that's the equivalent to suicide bombing or some shit to me. So we don't negotiate with terrorists.
We don't negotiate with terrorists.
I'm just being honest, domestic or abroad. So it's just like, hey, you a terrorist, bro. And then with that being said, it go deeper than that. When you're a terrorist, bro, we investigate your family. Oh, that little degree that your mama got, she can't use that no more. Her son is a terrorist. We not hiring you here at HEB. You could have been complicit into what he was doing, right? The same thing that you'll do with Saddam. The same thing that you'll do with El Chapo. The same thing that you'll do with the RICO Act. If you do some shit, nigga, we all in trouble. So what that'll do is now you know how to control your motherfucking family. I'm not saying because you've been bullied or you've been this or been that's no reason to go out and I guess let some anger out, but at some point, when is it tyranny? Like, when is it torture? Like, do you get what I'm saying? So if we start treating these crimes like what they are, like, bro, this torture. This is the same thing as Saddam Hussein coming over and saying, you know what, I'm finna go in here and I'm about to blow up a mosque. Oh, that's the same shit.
So what you're saying is, if
you need to go to Guantanamo Bay. That's what the fuck I'm saying.
If you commit a crime like that, it shouldn't only be consequences on you. It should be consequences on your immediate family.
It should be consequences on your family. Also, you should be treated like a terrorist. I'm not saying that just consequences because they're your family. No, the same rules that apply to a terrorist, they should be applied to you. And then I feel like because they talking about gun laws and all that, it's not the laws. You know how much cocaine and shit is in America? It's been a war on drugs for life. If it's illegal, we can still get it. It don't matter the laws, the punishment. You get what I'm saying?
So you make the punishment more harsh.
You make the punishment harsh. And you get what I'm saying? But you talking about laws and gun laws, bro. I ain't had a license in fucking years. I drive from here to fucking California. The law is not going to change anything. But guess what? If they told me, hey, if you get caught, you're going to jail for life without a license. Do you know how scared I'm going to be to fucking drive a car without a license? That's just me, though.
But I think, though, over time, and I'll come back to the topic, right? Over time, they have tried to make laws harsher and more stringent and like on brutal. I'm just saying in general, right? Okay. But crimes are still will still be committed, right? We know that, so it doesn't matter, what level of punishment. You know what I'm saying?
I think otherwise, because why do you think Saddam Hussein and all these other terrorists they hiding so much? So to me, I just disagree because Saddam Hussein, you know how long it took us to catch him, and then when we caught him, public enemy number one. But he was afraid of the consequences. Hell no, I'm not about to just go out there and go get nothing to eat.
Well, and what I mean is, let's take the incident like January 6th that happened, where people are you know, that you would think that would be dubbed as a high crime, right? You know what I'm saying? Whereas some people are getting a couple days, 30 days, a year, 2 years. In my head, those were terroristic acts, right? Right? I mean, I don't know if we all maybe could agree, maybe agree on that.
Yes,
Like,
you broke into the White House, huh? What
the
was it?
Capitol.
The Capitol, yeah.
And so, like, you know what I'm saying? You would think, but people, I can see another event like that happening, right? You would think, like, you know, damn, I mean, it's borderline treasonous. And then we got all these hearings coming up, you know what I'm saying, with these people.
That shit is treason.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, even treason is like top tier high, right? But I still think, even with the punishment that could come with something like that, if people are, you know, domestic terrorism and all that shit, people in certain groups are still going to be committing these types of crimes, even though these are high.
I agree.
Top tier crimes.
Hold up. I agree with what you're saying, but just think of this.
I mean, because I don't think that he's not going to be putting a whole bunch of white people to death. That's not
I'm
happening.
not saying whether
You know
you're
what I'm
white, green, orange, yellow. I'm just saying that you can clearly see. That's why I base it on coke and crack. It's like, okay, opioid and then crack. It's like, well, if you're doing this, you're a criminal. If you're doing this, you need help. So most people that's doing these crimes, these people need help. You see them you see it happening, and these people walk right out the goddamn building in handcuffs. But guess what? If I'm approaching you and you got a taser on you, and I'm just abrupt, fuck that, you would probably shoot me. So it's just like, damn, bro, these are terror. I'm not saying white, green, orange, or yellow. I'm just showing you the difference. And it's like, no, you should be treated like terror. You're committing terror. You're a terrorist. And again, I'm agreeing with you to where, yeah, people are still gonna do what they do, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the laws. It doesn't matter about people. People can get the RICO Act, but guess what? They still want to be gang leaders and they still want to pack. I agree, but guess what? At the end of the day, they still afraid of being caught. Just like, ain't nobody bigger than Saddam Hussein. Not saying nobody, but ain't nobody bigger than El Chapo. You think he wants to get caught? No, because he knows the punishment. You get what I'm saying? So guess what he's doing? He's being like, hell nah, no, y'all can't do that because I'm in trouble like this. And like treat these motherfuckers like terrorists. And that's what I feel.
Oh, yeah, one more thing. Like, but it's a different dynamic too, because a lot of the people and a lot of the juries and a lot of the other things, like when these people get like caught, right, or they have their hearing, they get this like slap on the wrist style punishment for what we think is a very top tier crime because of who's the jury of their peers and shit like that. So the punishment we think is like up here, but then you have all these other elements that are on their side that's baked into the system. Agree. You know what I'm saying? So that's what like. So we have on all fronts. It's a. I don't think this is not like this issue, this epidemic that we have when it comes to mass shootings in this country. It is an American thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just baked into the system. I'm gonna be honest. There's no answer for this. Like because they let it get.
When John Booth killed Lincoln, what was that?
He killed the president.
Assassination, right? And then what did he get for that? I think then they killed him. I think, or did he go to jail or did they kill John Booth?
Well, I want to know.
This is my point. The same thing that when that happened to Lincoln, not Lincoln, when it happened to
Martin Luther King. Who?
No.
JF
Kennedy. You get what I'm saying? These are assassinations, and these people are treated accordingly. You get what I'm saying? But when people like go look these people. When old buddy killed, was it Abraham? Was it JFK? When they came and while they was walking him out, shot him in front of everybody, right? Like just the footage. I think it was JFK. Was it JFK when they was walking them through the thing and they shot him in the crowd?
The speech.
Oh, that was Reagan.
That was Reagan.
Yeah,
Reagan. I apologize.
It was Reagan. Revolver.
It was Reagan. What I'm saying is, I'm agreeing that this has been happening, but just like the laws on anything, it's like, bro, when you see it's not working, I'm not a law on fucking guns and getting somebody. Oh, you should get this to get a gun. I ain't gonna get a gun illegally. At least try to make the punishment worth it. You get what I'm saying? I'm about to go in here and kill all these people, and guess what I'm gonna get? I'm gonna get murder. I'm gonna get 1 count of murder. And it's like, bro, you killed 80 people. Yeah, but guess what? If somebody from another country come over here and do some shit like that, they're terrorists. So I don't see the difference. I feel like, bro, you need to treat them accordingly. And I'm not saying that it's gonna stop, but this, like I said, you don't just see Iranian soldiers over here just shoot because they know, like, bro, you come to America doing some shit like that, the punishment is severe. You get what I'm saying? A lot of these countries, the worst place that they want to go to jail in is America. They want to go to jail anywhere else. They do not want to go to jail in America. At all. They don't want to be extradited, none of that. So with that being said, it's like, bro, treat these motherfuckers like terrorists.
I want to touch, but another point you had made when we was talking on the phone was you was talking about it not only affecting you, affecting your mama, your daddy, your brother, your child. You know what I'm saying?
Terrorist.
If you're gonna go in there and shoot up a church, but in the back of your head, you knowing that this is gonna affect my children. Like they're gonna go after my children. They're gonna
what do they call it? What's the
mother.
not reparations? Not reparations. When you owe someone restitution, right? The same shit.
So you saying that you were saying that the parents and everybody should be paying the families.
All of that.
But we are seeing like the people that are irresponsible with putting these guns up and stuff like that. The parents that the kids are going in there prying open the locks and shit like that, getting guns, and they are being held responsible. You know what I'm saying? In those cases where they can prove that, like where it was an adult's gun or the parent's gun, and they were able to go in the lock, they are being held responsible. Those parents.
All right, peep this. When I was younger, right, and I was in juvenile, right, they had this big ass case, right. I got locked up. It wasn't me, but it was this little kid, black dude, right, and his friend just happened to be white. It was a girl though. Mm-hmm. He went into his parents' closet. Right, and this shit was on the news. I'm in juvenile. They had the juvenile shut down. They had like CNN up there. Like we couldn't even eat. Like it was crazy. But he got the revolver and he showed his friend the gun and he killed her. Right. The mom of the girl that he killed even was like, "No, I know it was an accident. I trust him. I do all of that." People outside the juvenile for this little boy, right? Because they knew it was an accident. He like straight A student. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to get this little dude the death penalty. Right, and the mama is out there saying, "No, I know it was an accident. It just so happened that he shot her, but I know it was an accident." So I say that to say it's like, no, they about to give him the death penalty for this, but they would like this right here. They would give this man, and he complete insanity.
Oh boy, that
It's
shot the
just
church.
weird to me, like,
Didn't
you
he
a
get Burger
terrorist.
King on his way out or
Dylan
something
Roof.
like that? Dylan Roof.
You
know what I'm saying?
Do
Like,
you get
what?
what I'm saying? It's like you are a terrorist, and I think that when you see shit like that, this is just me. When I look from the outside looking in, if I see AC murder 1,000 people, and then after he murdered 1,000 people, I see the process that he's going through. It makes it look like consequences ain't even really that bad. I get the same consequences as selling a kilo of crack or a kilo of cocaine as I would get for massacring somebody. And it's like these are two different things, but you would get the same punishment. You would actually get life for a kilo of crack.
And I want to, we gotta let Dino hop in here.
Oh,
But
you
I want to read. I want to read Gollin's point right here, and this is kind of what I was going at. It says, whenever laws are made tougher, they affect black and brown people harsher. So I know we want to make these laws harsher, but it's a whole like democracy has to be. I mean, this thing that we living in right now, unless we want to just continuously wake up to school shootings and young white people continuously going into schools and churches and shit like that. I mean, this shit that got almost burned down. I know it sounds crazy, but the status quo and the way things are right now, there's no legislating this, man. Like this concept. And when I'm driving and I see these big American flags flying off of people's trucks, man, it's something. What I'm seeing, it don't. I automatically think something else. Right. You feel me?
So we see different things when we look at that flag, pretty much.
I agree with
symbol. It's a symbolism. The Second Amendment is basically saying it's okay for our kids to get shot in schools right now. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what this thing is saying. It's like, hey, Second Amendment makes it 100% okay for kids to get mowed down. Parents can't even recognize their kids. Need DNA tests and shit like that. So you
think that the Second Amendment is the reason that we're having a lot of?
I mean, what?
So let me say this: I have guns in my house. I have guns in my house.
I'm pro-gun
right now, and my son is at home, accessible to a gun right this second. Right. I say that to say that I think that it's the parents educate. Like I don't think that it has, because if my son's gonna do whatever, he's gonna do whatever. I believe that the crime. It has nothing to do with a law. That's just me. I could say it's illegal to have a cell phone. You can still have a cell phone, right? That's just me. I think that the punishment should fit that to make me not want to do anything illegal. Like, because I read the comment when God said you can still go to jail if you drive without a license. I know, but guess what? I've done it a million times from here to New York to California, and I know you're only going to be in jail for a day. So guess what? That doesn't stop me from driving without a license. I don't even need to bond out. They're going to send me to the magistrate, and the magistrate is going to say, hey, what you need to get a license and you need to pay this fine. I'm not going to be there for life. But guess what? If they said that, nigga, without a license, you're going to be in jail for life. You would never catch me driving. You would never catch me driving.
Valet, boy.
Because the punishment is harsh.
Yeah, but the point we're trying to make is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just
That's just me.
take a look at all these like other cases where, you know,
I've been driving and got stopped with my gun. See, he keeps saying that the license and the gun have nothing to do with one another. Guy,
really quick. I'm sorry.
yeah. Let Dino get in here.
I know, right? I understand your point. I don't think he's specifically harping on the fact that the punishment needs to be more severe, because I think what he's trying to say is we've been fed that outside source, when they threaten, right, our nation, when they threaten the people that are living with our nation, the great country that was built, then when they are found and held responsibly for their act, it is as severe as a punishment as possible.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So what he's saying is, if there's people here on soil and they are a threat to the very same people or neighbors, why is that punishment lax?
Exactly.
So I don't think he's saying make it severe, but there's already punishment there.
There's already punishment there.
But and then there's a flip side. I understand our conversation, and I understand that if, you know, people of us were to be anywhere near any type of situation like that, we would probably be the example of such punishment. So it is weird. But again, man, if anyone of y'all talk to me, y'all know me. Like it is the system. I don't know the system very well, but we seen enough to know that it's favored, right? We all know these things. So I do understand your point. I get Galen's point as well. And I agree. I agree with Amza. I don't think there is a fix. I don't think more laws, personally, on guns will fix this.
It's not gonna fix
I don't
it.
think you're gonna be able. You can't.
You can get the guns regardless.
You can get the guns regardless.
You can get them regardless. People will still have access to, like, the kids will probably still have access to the case, whatever the case may be, for the parents' gun. So we're in an interesting dynamic right now, because I don't even think the lawmakers have a legitimate answer for this problem, which they're obviously going to try to run on. But it's sad. It's really sad, because again, when you look outside of the country, harsh things happen outside of America. Tragic things, you know, at the cost of the good living of America. For example, Shell, you know, and how they have just killed, let's just say, the mother country.
I've been looking at that.
Just for gas, right? So
and they got the people living right by their fucking plants, looking at them.
Well, what's going on over
cancer
there?
causing.
Hold on.
I mean, this has
I
been
gotta break
happening.
this down.
But let him just kick, because I know exactly what he's
Right.
talking about.
So-
Boy, cooking right now.
So it's at the cost
He is.
of America, right? The great country that we live in. So horrible travesties happen all over. But what we could probably say in somewhat of an agreement is, but, you know, someone is not really shooting the kids. I mean, if people are dying because, let's say, of a corporation, that's a corporation doing, right? It's not a singular person that has access to a weapon and shooting their neighbors or peers' kids. You know, we can talk about the demons of demons, like we've spoken about demons, people in the streets, whatever the case may be. Like, you don't think their kids have access to guns?
Right.
You don't think some of these kids are growing up? We're talking about some of the kids that just, you know, leave school for whatever reason, and they could have all types of trauma, or wanna go back to past beefs. Most cases, we're not hearing about those kids going to those schools to recollect that situation or rectify the situation. No, we're hearing about basically the same story playing over and over. So even the demons that we call demons, or the streets, or quote unquote
Shooters.
the shooters, them or their kids are not even doing that. The shooting at funerals, okay, yeah, they are absolutely.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we always harp on the kids or the future, and again, I understand what you're saying. You know, you're not harping on punishment, but you're saying there is severe punishment already for terrorist act. You know, and this was a domestic, and these are domestic terrorist acts.
Exactly.
So I understand all parties, man. But again, I don't.
I'm not saying that. Oh, just this law is gonna make this. I'm saying exactly 100% what he's saying. Like, bro, what are we changing? We're not changing anything.
Mm-hmm.
When if Saddam came over here and did this, when you catch him, you send him to Guantanamo Bay. You about to waterboard his ass. He about to deprive of eating. It's probably gonna be dogs barking at his ass.
Well,
all that.
yeah.
Why is he in Barry County?
Well, do y'all-
Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, do y'all vote?
Motherfuckers in Barry County.
Truly,
Who
though,
vote?
we know
Y'all
why,
vote?
right?
Y'all
We know.
vote?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's how we. No.
I
Okay,
voted for the
because
president.
like I know we talking about these. I mean, you know, a lot of these positions and these judges and these DAs and stuff like that. These are positions that you know, if we talking about these types of things and these things, you know, what you're saying. Rule number one, you know what I'm saying, is we vote. So I say we vote so we don't have to physically fight in the streets. You know
Let me
what I'm
ask you
saying?
this: if it wasn't ideal, because this is and I came up with this just conversating with AC. Maybe we can't change it. Maybe they'll never do that. But just asking you two,
Yeah.
if you had to write it down and they ask you, other than I don't know or that's a good one, any words you can come up with, what would you say? Other than, because like I said, I would say make the punishment harsh as fuck for you and everyone around you because you're a terrorist. Other than that, then what would you say would be a good, maybe not a solution, but a good, maybe a remedy, a start to try to settle this down? What would you say? Because any ideal is good. Maybe they need that.
Well, mine is one of that takes time.
Tessa, press the
You know
button.
what I'm saying? Because reverse migration, like having like everybody move back to the South. You know what I'm saying? Because we moved from like 1910 and the like early 1970s, like we were trying to get the fuck out of the South because there was so much domestic terrorist activities going on then.
nice.
So we were going to destination cities like Chicago, St. Louis.
This nigga gotta say Arbery is drunk. Why would I be drunk? What are you talking
You know what
about?
I'm saying? So I feel like now, like bringing everybody back to the South. You know what I'm saying? Reverse, get everybody move back to where it's a little bit like the property's a little bit cheaper. You know what I'm saying? And these votes are that is the ultimate fucking fear right there. Like this, having all these tons of black people and people of color moving back down to the South to really we can really dominate some of these local elections. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about like landslide just by minuscule votes. You know what I'm saying? So that one is going to be over time, and that was the ultimate fear. Several years ago is like, I mean, they was really out here killing people that was getting people registered to vote. You feel me? Like that is like people. It's complete terrorized.
Our voice is the biggest weapon in a sense.
I mean, if move back to the South. You know what I'm saying? I know that's like a long-term deal. You know what I'm saying? But again, as we all know, 2043 is among us, where America's going to look drastically different as far as majority and minority. You know what I'm saying? The browning of America.
But will the mind change? Because if
Exactly.
they still have the white man's mindset,
Yeah.
Mm.
It's gonna. That's why it's more of a long-term thing. You know what I'm saying? Getting active, organizing right now, solidifying and having some type of fortitude of the mind. That it's not supposed to be like this. You know what I'm saying? Like what universe are we goddamn in where we know there's gonna be another mass shooting of school children or a church in the next couple of days? Like it don't make sense.
Guyland just said, me and Guyland never agree, but he did just say something that makes sense, right? He says, we have a gun problem in America, not a punishment problem. Real talk. We have more people in prison than any other country, and we have more guns. Now, that just proves my point on if you get caught in fucking one of these other foreign countries with a gun, that's almost near life in prison. Because look at the punishment. You don't even want to get
so
caught
you look
with
at
a
old
gun.
girl Brittany. You know what I'm saying? She got caught with some CBD.
Oh,
But peep this. So what I'm saying is, in America, you can get caught with something, and then we're gonna treat you like look at other America can learn certain things from other countries. You get what I'm saying? Like, bro, they don't have a gun problem. I understand with the gun laws, but if you're
it's
not
over
able
with
to-
in America. When it comes to gun problem, it's over.
You're
with.
right. It's too many here.
So let me just say one more stat before
Sure,
we continue. So America is 5% of the world's population, but we have in this country 42% of the world's guns. It's over with.
Why is that?
It's over with. Like ain't no.
I have my reason. What do you think it is? Why do you,
it's America. Go ahead.
Corporation.
Capitalism. Somebody. I see whoever says something about capitalism. I see you in the chat.
Yeah, it's all corporation. You know, you're talking about the prison problem and the private prisons, and there's more guns. These aren't things that are coincidental. You know, I think the things that we're conversing about, like they're not speaking about this. You know, this is just, or is it going to put us in the black more? Corporation, right? The questions we should be asking ourselves is, how can we be able to not disseminate but kind of dissolve this corporate greed, this capitalism? Because again, the questions we're talking and we're asking, right, we already know the answers. We know that if you're lacking a bit of melanin, you know, the punishment won't be as severe. Right. We know that certain countries ban certain things that are legal in America. We all know these things. Just the real question, and it's always been the question that we haven't found a true answer for, is how do we minimize capitalism? I think we allowed it, and when I say we, I just mean, you know, we the people from a certain time, we weren't versed in the knowledge, you know, of money, of finances. And I think it has gotten to the point where there's no unraveling, there's no undoing. There's so much power with finance it's just stable, it's stagnant, it's going to be hard to move, that the changes that we talk about changing, it's hard to foresee, especially if you think about things like pharmaceutical. The world just stopped. You know, the world just stopped from a deadly virus, and a lot of people lost their lives. A lot of people were affected by that. But you know what happened? There was a lot of capital gains. You know, so we didn't get a lot of nonprofit organizational things. Yeah, some people donated, you know, tests. And then later on we heard about those tests being affected. Yep. You know, but they were paid for. They were paid for though. You know, so it's kind of one of those things, man. I think the conversation just needs to be, and you know, we know Cenk is always on this. Like, we gotta take money out of politics, but everything. It's not just politics anymore. It's literally everything. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
I think it's very difficult, at least for us, to grasp finance. I'll be honest. Within the last decade, within the 2020s, us as black people have just, if you look at us back in like the 20s to 30s, like now we're kind of becoming more aware of, we need to get land, we need to get this. I would say it's kind of difficult to teach someone that's also being sold. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like trying to tell like the Snickers, hey, this is how you supposed to finance shit. I'm being sold. Like, how the hell you gonna sell once that Snicker is not that Snicker anymore, not a product? Now we can kind of started late. You get what I'm saying? We started later on because like, bro, I was being sold 3 months ago, and now I'm free. Not literally 3 months ago, but now I'm free. Now I'm picking up on, okay, let me learn how to buy land. Let me learn about credit and this and that and that. So I think that as us as a people, we did get a late start, and it's just we're just now starting. You know what I'm saying? Going back to the laws as well, crack. I look at crack and cocaine.
I want to ask y'all though, because we have to get to the next subject here in a little bit. But does this put fear in y'all hearts as far as y'all kids? Does that make you want to keep y'all kids inside? Nah, you can't go outside. Like, how does that make y'all feel as parents?
Man, let me say this: I'm not a parent, and I'm traumatized for my brothers. You know, my best friend, his kids. You know. Look, I can't even conceive in my mind a 6-year-old, perhaps she was 6, that she had a cognitive mind, whatever part of the brain, your cerebral cortex, whatever, kicked in for survival to wipe blood and play dead. I can't. Yeah. As a child, I was jumping over gully, or what you call it, like banks, you know, just ditches. Yeah. And falling into those, you understand? And then you look at a situation like that, like as an adult, I can't conceive how a child, you know, with such a non-developed brain could do that. So and that's at a school, right? So we've seen these things happen in churches, movie theaters, homes, you know, essentially we're not safe anyway. So I personally, I don't have children, but like I said, I'm scared for my loved ones' children. You know, I don't even understand how, and also we also can't live in fear, but it is such.
And shout out to Zelina, man.
It's a thin line.
Appreciate you watching.
It is, man, because you don't want your kids to grow up like just being in fear. But again, I don't have to make that decision daily, but I do think about it constantly, you know?
Yeah, and my bad. I wanted to continue to answer the question I answered. Everybody. So one of the things was moving back to the South, a constitutional amendment to take money out of politics, and something a little bit more radical that you may start hearing about as far as solutions or something that can like spark a change. So when it comes to school, if we're gonna have like, you know, young adults having to learn these drills, learn how to militarize, use doors and chairs, and goddamn, you know, all these different things that they got to do when they're young, maybe we should consider letting 16-year-olds vote. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna start hearing more about that. I mean, you expect these kids to make these like military drills on a daily basis when it comes to this stuff in these affected states. Maybe we can just consider letting 16-year-olds vote. I know it sounds wild, but you're gonna start hearing more about it. You feel me? And to answer the question on AC, it's just like, you know, in my house, like, you know, we have a lot of illustrated books for certain things. Like I had made a post about talking about the original Memorial Day, what they called it Commemoration Day, you know what I'm saying, with freed slaves and all these things like that. So, you know, it's just a lot of educational stuff that, you know, that we do at home. That's, you know, actual history, you know what I'm saying? So it's not definitely a constant fear. We definitely outside. But it is one of those things, you know, I'm always kind of interested in what schools or what proper preparation and things of that nature.
Yeah, you have drills at home?
No. No drills. But it's just like, you know,
but should we have drills at home?
You know, of course we should like prepare, not necessarily, like we want to prepare and educate, man, like what's going on to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be putting like, you know, this daunting shit in the kids. Like you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. It's very
the things that we think, and I agree with the daunting. Like, you know what made me start like saying, you know what, I got to start taking my son to the shooting range and the gun range with me because.
How old is your son?
He's 12.
Okay.
But with that being said, and not getting on mass shootings or anything like that, just getting on when he says drills. When I be at the shooting range, right, half the people at the shooting range are kids. My son 12, kids 8, little girls 8 shooting a little 22 or and when you say drill, I think us as the minority, when I see not only behind, but like we look at certain things because we've been so stigmatized to where it's embedded in us to where, no, I'm not about, if my son picks up a gun at my house, I will be honest, when I'm cleaning guns and doing all that, my son's not loaded or anything. My son's already, so they're familiar, like, okay, this does this and this does that. Just being honest with you. But if someone sees that, right, as a black person, they're probably like, oh, you're teaching them how to be a thug. But guess what? If a little white, I see these kids at the shooting range doing this every day.
It's looked at differently.
This goes back to
even
So it's just like
long rifles.
So when you say drills, and we be like, nah, it sounds funny, but they're doing drills right now, like right now at the shooting range. No, Becky, you hold it like this. You got to hold it up like that and put like
it's a good book called Negroes with Guns.
And it's
that,
like,
you know, that's like, you know, talks about like these different like groups that was not like they was not playing, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to protection of their family. Like black people in the South, the people will come to their door trying to fuck with them, like, yo, we'll kill you, you know what I'm saying, and everybody in the family know how to shoot, you know what I'm saying. So they was really running some domestic terrorists out of town, you know what I'm saying. So it's definitely it's a very valid point. And I want
to ask this question. Hypothetically speaking, if there wasn't guns, right? Let's just use our country. Doesn't matter if they were elsewhere. They can't be legally imported. They just wasn't here. Policing, maybe the military, but let's just pretend they don't have it, right? Let's just pretend.
I think that's how it is in Europe or France or one of those. That the cops don't even have a gun.
Yeah, they don't in some places. But let's just pretend hypothetically like that is the case here, right? So essentially, when there's a threat, any type of weapon that's accessible to you or the party that's threatening you is fair game, right? If you don't have any weapons, unfortunately, you've been subdued by the person who do have weapons.
Right.
But you do have somewhat of a fighting chance, somewhat, right? Opposed to the bullet hitting the artery, whatever the case is, and instantly, 99% your life is gone. Now you're just gasping for air. So when I hear people have the argument about, not necessarily drills, but, it's our rights or we have guns because they have guns. If we didn't, if we didn't, then it's technically somewhat a fair chance. If you get stabbed, not everyone's gonna know the exact pinpoint of artery to hit. Just leak out, you can't. It's just gonna stab you somewhere in the body. You have a fighting chance.
Right.
So it's, to me, holding guns or guns being your right, it's not a form of protection, because without it, you can still get touched, but I just feel like you have a bit more of a fighting chance than getting hit with 2-3 bullets within seconds.
I agree.
So gun laws is irrelevant to me. The ideology by saying, it's protection is irrelevant to me. Because if there was no guns, and when there was no guns, how were people protecting themselves? How are they protecting their tribes?
A sword. But what I do agree 100%. What he said was, I got one because you got one. It's just like if you walk into Walmart and everybody in Walmart got on a face mask.
That's fair.
But you.
That's
You're gonna feel
fair.
weird. You're gonna be like, and even let's just say Corona doesn't even exist. It don't matter if everybody in Walmart got on orange shirts. Like everybody in Walmart got on orange shirt and you walk in with a white shirt. You're gonna feel a little out of place. So I agree with him when he says, shit, I got one. Because you got one. That's literally why I got one, because I would fight you and I would take my ass whooping. But bro, you wouldn't. You would try to shoot me, bro. And I just want to make sure that if you try to shoot me, I could shoot you back. I agree 100%.
Can I say one thing before we move on real quick, AC?
Let's make this the last one now.
My bad. So this is a fantastic point by Ms. Jones in the comments. In other countries, the citizens respect their country more and want to preserve it. Like when it comes to the
Great point.
it's something
And
like
this is the land of the free.
entrenched. Like we're supposed to be a beacon of democracy.
Sure.
We got the Bill of Rights. We got all these things and these, but it's not built that way because of these greater forces. Like I'm gonna call it dirty capitalism. Like whereas for that type of economic system to exist, 100% somebody has to be exploited.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? NRA just had a conference in Houston. Motherfuckers is laughing about the shooting, you know what I'm saying, of these kids and making fun of the people protesting. Like it's just that's where we at. That's why I said earlier, when I see these big flags hanging out these trucks, it just means something different to me, man. I don't we love this country, you know what I'm saying? That's why we here fighting because we believe and think and see of a future of it not being the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Again, in my head, and what stats show is like a lot of the kids that are 18 and under in this country are non-white. So to me, I'm hopeful. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they have a little bit more progressive ideologies. You know what I'm saying? The next generation, if we cultivate them and aim them in the direction of having an interest in some type of civics, or you know what I mean, like this is the change, you know what I'm saying, this is the ultimate fear of some of these guys that you see in the Republican Party or these other parties that are having 100% commercials. Like every fucking commercial they shooting a gun.
Right.
God damn it, in my city, you know what I'm saying? They shooting shit blowing up like it's a fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's a fucking game. You know what I'm saying? You got big.
I agree with that.
It's just kind of crazy, man. But I'm sorry, AC.
No, I totally agree with that. But I'm not even gonna go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
thank you. God damn. We about to go to another area now. Guy Lynn, can you play that second video for me?
God, you gotta let us run longer too, man. We cooking today.
Yeah, we own it. This nigga put a link.
Learn the girl part. Learn to just be. A woman that has her femininity, her spirituality, and her sensuality all flowing at the same time is a force to be reckoned with. Everybody talks about, I knew he was cheating, and they're looking for cheating, but how can you know he cheating, but you never knew he was unhappy with you? How?
So you're looking for those signs, but you're not looking for those signs.
Why do you look for what somebody is doing, but you don't know when they're not happy with you? So come on, I'm like,
Is that being self-absorbed? You feel like maybe sometimes in relationships, women, because like you said, we know that we get everything just because we're women, so we expect it, and we don't want to give the man anything.
Oh yes, women are self-absorbed and entitled, and I can say this because I've been doing this work for over 15 years. They believe because they have a vagina and pretty, that they, and a nice body, that they are entitled to being treated a certain way. However, have you ever seen a woman that's beautiful and she looks amazing, her body, everything is together, very smart, but those type of women always get left for more plain Janes.
Yeah,
Women that
looking like you chose.
Did you see what I was looking like? Because it had nothing to do with what she looked like and what she came to the table with. It was what she was being to him and how she made him feel in his presence. So we see it all the time. But they going out here, girl, thinking that I have to look like this, getting these botched BBLs and all of this, tuck it in, suck it out, and all that.
Keep my mouth closed.
And then on top of that, it's like they're not. I'm doing it for myself. No, you're doing it because these men is liking these pictures. But here's the thing, Mo. The pictures that they're liking, dude, most of those women don't have a man.
Oh, girl, isn't that the funniest thing? The gorgeous women stay single their whole lives. Isn't that interesting?
Because they never learn the girl part. Learn the girl part. Learn to just be a woman that has.
This is a good point here. They talking about these women. We all know these women are great PIs. They know when you cheating, but they will not. But they not using that same PI, thought process to know if that man was actually unhappy before even before the cheating started. But another thing that stood out to me that she said is what these women don't understand. They think this plastic surgery and all this is the way to go because the men like that. She said, but at the end of the day, it's about how you make that man feel. And I feel like that is something that a lot of women are missing. They're not understanding. Fuck all the plastic surgery, fuck the makeup. At the end of the day, it's really, really, really about how you make that man feel. So I mean, what's y'all thoughts on that?
Okay, so we have some more complexities.
Right. This is a good show today. We cooking, God, let us run, man. Let us run.
A lot of opinions. I think right now the terminology that's going around is modern day women, right? That's what they're putting these type of women. They're gonna always come up with a phrase or a stigma or a label. Is the modern day woman. Personally, before going too in depth, I think in any relationship, both parties should have an understanding of what each party's request is to fulfill the relationship, right? So we're used to being taught that, men are hunters, gatherers, women are kind of caretakers, or very giving, very loving. And that may work for some relationships, and others, it may not. You know what I mean? I think it just depends. Without going into any intricacies, just built on foundation, whatever that relationship is, the request. You know what I'm saying? If she feel like, because she has this, she deserves that's she's obligated to that opinion. You know what I mean? If the man disagree with that, then that's not the relationship for him. Right? But she may find a man that does agree. And then she agreed with what his requests are. So
it wasn't funny. They weren't for one another.
Yeah, and I 100% concur, man. Like me personally, like I chose monogamy. You know what I'm saying? Like I chose this. You feel me? And a lot of this shit is just basically decisions. You know what I'm saying? Some are complex decisions, some are just not. Like if it's a choice to like want to be this type of guy, like I'm married, this is to infinity and beyond, you feel me? So it's just like when it comes to like content like this,
we're missing the point. What she's saying is the women noticing, being able to peep out the cheating but not being able to peep out the happiness because they're so self-absorbed. So that's why I wanted to get on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
These women being
so. Y'all take on it, cause.
Okay, so let me say this one thing first. Woman or man, is it their responsibility to know exactly if you're unhappy, or is it whomever that's unhappy their responsibility to
That's a
express.
good question.
I believe that if we're gonna be in a relationship, you can't read my mind.
Right.
I believe that it's a give and take thing. So for instance, hey, we having an issue. You know, the whatever's going on, we having an issue. Now that you know that the issue is going on, how do we go from there? You get what I'm saying? Sure. So I think that once it becomes aware, and even if I don't agree, if I F with AT the way I say I F with him, and this is just a friendship, and AT say, hey, I don't like the way that you talk to me, and then even if I don't feel that I talk to him like that, I might feel like I talk to him the right way. Hey, now I'm aware of how you think or how you feel I talk to you. Let's get over that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it depends on it's on both. Once I make it aware that I'm having this issue, now that you know, okay, now act on it. That's me though. I also when they're saying women are so good at peeping out if a man is cheating and not good at it, peeping out if a man is unhappy or not, I totally agree as well. I think that women could get caught up into being treated a certain way. For instance, like they were saying, you got a vagina, this is how you're supposed to be treated. With that being said, let's just say if you don't deserve to be treated like that, vice versa, a man as well. Hey, baby, that's how you should treat a man. What if that man doesn't deserve to be? Just because you got a dick don't mean that you should be treated like a man, and just because you got a vagina doesn't mean that you should be treated like Queen Elizabeth. You know, so I do totally agree. I would say that it's for both parties because some men are good at peeping out what a woman is doing, but not peeping out her. They're good at peeping out her cons, but not good at peeping out her pros. She probably do everything good for this man, but maybe she not a good cook. But he bases that on the total relationship. But then you're gonna go find this bitch that's an excellent cook that don't give a fuck about you.
That's true. That's happening.
You get what I'm saying? So I think that just like you were saying, when you find someone, well, both you got, when you find someone, it's just about what he chose it. It's about decisions. I'm making this decision to act like this and to treat you the way that I want to treat, that I want to be treated, vice versa. That's me though.
No. I think the argument that she's making is societal stereotypes. You know, if you ask most women, maybe they won't say, I think I should be treated this way because I have a vagina. But I think society and 100%, maybe 1,000, social media is depicting that because she has a vagina, you should treat her. Remember, one of the biggest flex is diamonds, bro. Diamonds. What the fuck is a diamond, bro?
A rock.
You know
No
what I'm saying?
value.
Zero.
A rock.
No, I mean we just say, oh, this costs this much.
You
You can say that about anything. I can say that about this.
Exactly.
So
That's the point.
if once we understand
Give
that,
50 million.
then we know that the root of this is coming from society. So I think once we start to detach and curate our own beliefs, then we can move in, you know what I'm saying, in accordance, rather than basing off our beliefs or decision by society. You know, I personally saw a video the other day, don't know how it got on my feed, about a woman. And let me preface this as well. Before I saw this video a couple months ago, there was a whole trend about a couple men, social media went viral about if he not doing this, side nigga this, side that. Like I don't remember the names, but y'all remember when man, these dudes went viral. You know, like if y'all not doing, the guy was actually dumbing down the other guy. Ladies, if he ain't doing this, then he a bum. If he not, I can't, y'all don't remember that.
And I bet you the ladies was like, preach.
Exactly.
Preach.
And a
On some
couple
Steve
of them
Harvey
went
shit.
super viral a couple months. So I purpose that to say this. Then a couple months later, I see the opposite side of it now. I do this, you know, I treat men this way because yada yada yada. If I'm not getting money out of the situation, I don't deserve it. I play him. I use this. Like I make up lies, stories. Like she had a whole thing, and you know she went viral too. We saw both sides of the coin. You know, we saw men bringing down men, right, and then we see a woman devaluing men as well, right? But they're both devaluing the importance of a man into someone's specific life. You know what I'm saying?
What they think.
Yeah, and that's opinion. But what happens is when they see that content, then they're driven by the decision. That decision is being made for them, right? Like, you right, girl, you right, dude, like for real. But I think to rectify that situation, make the decision yourself. detach from conversations like this. Find your inner value, your core, your morals. You know what I'm saying? Like, what type of woman or man you want to be around? What are your values for the relationship? Put that to the side and make it happen. Because these conversations, it's just gonna be, not saying our conversation, but when you have these specific conversations, it's either gonna go two ways. I'm gonna make my own decision, or you right. Nah, that ain't right. It's all opinion.
Right.
It's opinion.
You know, I think one thing that a lot of people may not understand, and it's something that, because you know, I was a wild boy. You know what I'm saying? But what I found out is the way that you make your partner feel means everything. It will change. It will make cheating cease. It will make attitude cease. It's about how you make your partner feel. At the end of the day, that's something that the young lady was saying that I felt stuck out to me so much. It's like, it's crazy how the dynamics, you can take a deadbeat ass dude or a dog ass dude and give him a woman that's gonna make him feel or treat him a certain type of way, and he will change all his ways for it.
So value.
Yeah,
Maybe. Value.
And I think that is 100% accurate. For instance, before I was where I'm at, I got evicted years ago. You know, when I first met my girl, around the time I met my girl, I was getting evicted out of my. I was not. My lease was up, and they were not going to renew my lease anymore. Right? I didn't have a place to go, but I made this woman feel so good that she didn't mind sleeping in this vacant ass apartment that I just fucking kept the key, made a copy of the key. So when you make some, and I'm not saying that because shit, I do get on her nerves and she get on mine, right? At times, but I say that to say that's 100% accurate. The way that you make someone feel could change the difference, because it's like shit. I'm sitting here with, I've been on the side of the road. I've been starving with you. I've been sleeping I done shit with you, and because I'm with AC, I forgot that the lights off in this bitch. Because AC, like the way we in here joking, the way he making a nigga feel, it's like 10 hours done went by with these lights off, and I forgot. Now I'm tired. We about to wake up because of the way he make me feel. So I do believe that the feeling, if the way that you make that person feel would make the difference. Because think about if I don't like you, I ain't about to sleep in no goddamn vacant apartment with you now.
Right.
That comes up. Oh hell no, and you ain't even got no place to stay. Fuck no.
Yeah.
But it's a vibe. It's like hell no. I like being around you. Make me laugh. I forgot we was in a vacant apartment. That electricity still on this bitch. We got lights and a blower mattress. You're comfortable. And I'm about to put a TV in this bitch. Don't act bougie.
Right.
But I'm saying that to say I do agree with the way that you make someone feel can make the difference.
You can. That's crazy, man.
It definitely, the other person has to be receptive of that as well. So I understand it's 100%, but it's 100% for you. 100% for you or whomever that benefited from that situation.
Right.
But the person who is receiving
Right.
that good, they have to be receptive as well. Otherwise, we're back to where we started originally. You know what I mean? So it has to be. And let's be honest, man. Like everybody don't click together.
Right.
Sometimes it's fun and it's good in the beginning, and then you just got to go our separate ways. You know what I mean?
I remember one time when we were standing in the vacant, my girl mama said, "You know what? I need to go see where he stay if you're gonna be at his house." No, you don't. I don't say no. You don't want to go to my house. You want to go to my house? You want to go to my house? No. Why you want to go to my house? Mine? No.
Don't do that. What they talking about in the comments, man? We about to go, y'all.
That's
We
the
about
truth, though.
to go.
She said, I need to see where this man stay.
That's funny.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Let's see.
Stay right here.
Right. Home's where the heart is.
I think home is where the heart is. You looking at the home. Huh? You looking at home. Let's see. Zelina Jones say, "Come on in April." Star say, "Yes." She say, "Star say, I speak on this all the time." True, but actions show as well. If you are paying attention to your partner, you will realize specific actions are changing.
Absolutely.
Zelina Jones says, yes, in relationships, couples can fall short of operating in their expectations rather than our standard. Star said, agreed, all opinion. I believe that's one of you guys that said that it's opinion based. Garland said it's about 100% each person giving. Two people living their own fairy tale. Zelina said, I like that name, Zelina.
Zelina cooking today.
Zelina
cooking
Zelina
today.
say the number one impediment, I hope I'm saying that right, to be honest, the number one impediment to honesty communication is fear. Fear of disruption of marriage and relationship. He just made a great point. You may not I think she meant get. You may not get together.
Gel. No, he's
Oh,
he's talking about
gel. Okay, gel.
Gel.
I get what she's saying. I have to read it. Yeah, you may not gel together. So yeah, he's correct. Just because you like someone in the beginning doesn't mean that that's the person that you're gonna end your life with.
Well,
Gel.
Just might have liked that head that night.
right.
I can't let the head dictate the rest of my life. No.
Man, is there anything that you guys wanted to talk about or bring up about the business or anything before we go?
Well, definitely. You can see on the ticker at the bottom of the screen, SamPluto.com. Definitely follow us on our social media platforms. Just Sam Pluto, really easy to spell. Again, we offer businesses throughout the area of San Antonio and Texas an array of different services to really bring their business plans, mission statement to life. You know what I'm saying? So. Definitely reach out to us for whether it be event coverage, interviews, doing culture building type of videos for your business or organization or corporation. Definitely reach out to us again. Business phone numbers 210-201-2694. Go to sampluto.com and you can find all the information there as well. And yeah, man, this was.
Where can they find you guys at? I'm sorry. Did you have anything else to say?
Oh no, I think you wrapped it up. You know, we're just out here trying to help tell people stories,
Right.
businesses stories. You know, and just trying to do it in a creative way.
And this is TV quality. Have y'all?
saying,
This is
Look at your
TV
screen
quality.
right now. You see how clarity
Like-
you're looking at
like
right
they
now?
videos
That's how they
are-
commercials be looking.
Oh, man, thank
Have you seen the HEB commercial?
You're right.
It looked like that.
It looked
Have you
like
seen
that.
the Geico commercial? It looked like that.
Y'all pull it up now, bullshit.
You feel me? Right. But where can they find you guys out on social media?
Yeah, individually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And as far as the company as well.
Hey man, I'm only promoting Sam Pluto.
Okay.
You
This is true.
know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
This is
Like I don't even care about my other shit. You know what I'm saying? Really, so it's just Sam Pluto 210 on Instagram, Sam Pluto on Facebook, and SamPluto.com. Man, I want y'all to go bookmark the website. You know, you'll definitely be seeing some really cool things on our Instagram, Sam Pluto 210. Really easy to find, man. If y'all want to check out our work.
Hey, Zelina,
Hey,
come back
appreciate you,
next
Zelina.
week.
You know what
Come
I'm
back
saying?
next week because
Oh,
we
it's
do
right
this.
there at Sam Pluto
We
210.
do this all the time. That's how we get down,
Yeah.
like
Hey.
on some real shit.
Hey, and yeah, shout out Zelina. We love when
Man.
somebody tap in and they can leave with something. It wasn't just like, you know, what is
That's
this? And they
awesome.
get out. So, hey, Zelina, I really appreciate it.
We probably
You know
saying your
what I'm
name wrong.
We
don't-
probably
don't know.
saying it. We
We-
was calling
that's how
one
we
girl
do.
Osabia. We
Oh,
didn't even
yes,
know
we
her
was.
name.
Yes.
I was watching that episode.
Yeah, Osabia. I think it was Osebia.
Yeah,
Just come to find out it's
Yep.
Osebia.
Yeah,
A radioactive is Osabia.
I want to say in closing too, man. I feel like
Good intent, guys. That's
when you know we owe a lot to ourselves, man. Like you know what I'm saying. It's been the whole country's going through a ton of different things. You know, mental healthness is it's things are just it's really wild. We living in like Stranger Things upside down, man. I mean, we can like. If we find time to laugh and joke, you know what I'm saying? But then you like, fuck, man, like it's really wild out here. So I think we owe it to ourselves to really, be one with each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I wish Professor Xavier existed so we can just be like,
Bro,
you feel me? And like,
I've said that.
you know what I'm saying?
Not
Like
him, but
something,
I said that.
but it's something in us. Like anywhere we go through our history, man. In closing, God, I'm sorry. We build community, man. That's something that's innate in us. You know what I'm saying? No matter where we go, we build community. You know, and there's different elements and forces that really don't want that to happen. You know what I'm saying? So we owe it to ourselves to continue to keep doing this and
Strengthen numbers.
strengthen numbers, man.
Man.
That's
Black power, black power.
Black power, baby.
Thanks for having us.
Man, much love to everybody, man. Straight
for
up.
sure.
Yo, this is Radio.
Where can they find us at online, AC?
Right. Yo, you can find us on YouTube, Radioactive Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Radioactive_podcast. And of course, you can find us here. You know what I'm saying? Announcement.
What's the announcement?
Y'all, we are moving
we
to
moving dates.
Wednesdays.
We're moving to Wednesday.
Wednesday at 7 p.m. So this is our last Sunday show. This is our last Sunday
we
show.
closing now.
Tell a
Okay.
friend, tell a friend.
So what happened was we got prime time. You feel me? We got a
sir.
promotion. We ain't
Congratulations.
got to do it on Sundays no more. We got promoted to the week.
Wednesday. So
Congratulations.
you're going to catch us next week on Wednesday. Dang, that's a couple days.
Yeah, catch us in a couple of days. You know that like when you work and they be like, you got to come right back to work. That's what's had to happen.
You know what I'm saying?
We coming right
shout
back
out
to
to
it.
the guys getting a prime time slot
Yes,
On
Yes,
the,
Wednesday at 7 p.m. Catch us here, back here, Wednesday.
AC
7
upset because
p.m.
we don't spend like thousands of
Yes,
dollars on
I
stuff saying
paid.
Sunday at 7.
It does say Sunday on the top.
Dude, you got to want to buy
$6,000.
Hey,
It's all good,
It's all
man.
good.
So we'll start seeing y'all Wednesday at
7
at 7.
p.m.
You feel me? Right here at Vibe Pod. You know what I'm talking about?
Pod Media. Yo, individuals.
Flip that.
Oh, hey, y'all can follow our individual Instagrams at official Lambo Warren and at Ace Boogie 1388. You know what I'm talking about?
Check us out. Follow us. Share. Yo, this is Radioactive. Peace.
Yabba dabba.
Yeah.